people, because you gave chances, because you saw potential in places others ignored. You were targeted, because you had light, and they wanted to dim it. You had warmth, and they wanted to drain it. You had loyalty, and they wanted to own it. You had hope, and they wanted to twist it into something that served them. They didn't come for your weakness. They came for your strength. They knew you wouldn't walk away easily. They knew you'd stay, try, fix, understand. They knew you'd hurt yourself just to keep the peace. They knew you'd shrink before you ever made them uncomfortable. They knew, and they used it all. But now you know too. And that changes everything. Now you stop explaining yourself. To people who refuse to hear you, you stop begging for honesty, from mouths built to lie. You stop handing out grace. To those who treat it like currency, you stop folding your worth, just to fit into rooms that were never built for you. You stop shrinking, to make others feel tall. You stop editing your truth, to protect someone else's comfort. You stop apologizing for noticing what your soul has always known. You stop dancing for people who only clap when you're bleeding. You stop playing the game because now you see it. The patterns, the manipulation, the emotional sleight of hand. You see the confusion wasn't accidental. The silence wasn't forgetfulness. The inconsistency wasn't human error. It was all deliberate. And now, you're done. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You don't need them to understand. You just need yourself. The real you. The one you buried. To keep their love. The one you softened. To make them feel strong. The one you quieted. So their chaos could be loud. You get her back. You get him back. You get you back. Piece by piece. Day by day. Truth by truth. You reclaim your mind. No more letting them live rent-free in your thoughts. No more wondering what they think, what they feel, what they meant. Now you ask, what do I feel? What do I want? What do I need? You reclaim your time. No more wasted years, spiraling in cycles you didn't create. No more investing in people who see you as a mirror, not a soul. You reclaim your voice. No more silence when you're hurting. No more pretending it didn't matter. No more swallowing truth to keep fragile egos intact. You reclaim your worth, not because someone finally gave it to you, but because it was always yours. You've been used for your love, used for your patience, used for your ability to see the good in broken people who had no intention of changing, used for your stability, used for your forgiveness, used for your silence. But now, you see it, and that one shift, that one sharp, soul-splitting realization, that's enough to burn the whole illusion to ash. That's enough to free you. Because when you see it, really see it, you can't unsee it. You stop reaching. You stop explaining. You stop hoping they'll come back better. You stop waiting for the apology. That will never come. You just walk, not because you're bitter, but because you're done. You don't go back. You don't look back. You're not who you were when they met you. You're not as easy to fool. You're not as easy to break. You're not as easy to own. You are new. You are clear. You are powerful in ways they never imagined you'd become. And you are finally free. Make it. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who dared to venture beyond Freud's shadow, remains a figure both revered and reviled. His theories, ranging from the collective unconscious to synchronicity, have sparked debates that continue to divide scholars, mystics, and critics alike. Was he a visionary who unlocked the deepest recesses of the human psyche, or a man whose ideas teetered on the edge of pseudoscience and prejudice? This exploration delves into the heart of Jung's most controversial concepts, examining their impact and the storm of criticism they ignited. Jung's theory of the collective unconscious posits that beneath our personal unconscious lies a deeper layer shared by all humans. containing universal archetypes and symbols. He believed these inherited structures shape our experiences, dreams, and behaviors. Critics argue that this concept is unscientific and unverifiable, labeling it pseudoscientific and accusing Jung of excessive determinism. They contend that shared human experiences can be explained by common environments rather than an inherited psychic structure. Despite these criticisms, Jung's ideas have influenced various fields, including psychology and the arts. Jung introduced the concept of synchronicity to describe meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect. He argued that these events are acausal and reflect a deeper connection between the individual and the universe. However, many in the scientific community dismiss synchronicity as pseudoscience, citing its lack of empirical support and reliance on subjective interpretation. Critics suggest that such coincidences can be attributed to cognitive biases and the human tendency to find patterns, known as apophenia. Jung's concept of archetypes refers to universal, primordial symbols residing in the collective unconscious. He believed these archetypes manifest in myths, dreams, and cultural narratives. While some view archetypes as insightful tools for understanding human behavior, others criticize them as reductionist and culturally biased. Feminist scholars, in particular, argue that Jung's archetypes reinforce gender stereotypes and fail to account for cultural diversity. Unlike Freud, who viewed religion as an illusion, Jung saw spirituality as integral to psychological health. He believed that religious symbols and myths are expressions of the unconscious mind and play a crucial role in personal development. Jung's approach to spirituality, however, has been criticized for lacking empirical grounding and for blending psychological concepts with mystical beliefs. Some argue that his integration of spirituality into psychology undermines the scientific rigor of the field. Jung's writings have been scrutinized for containing racist and culturally biased views. He often described non-European cultures as primitive and suggested that they were psychologically underdeveloped compared to Europeans. These views have been widely condemned as harmful and exclusionary. An open letter from Jungian analysts has acknowledged and apologized for the racism in his work, noting its impact on the field and those seeking training or therapy. Many of Jung's theories, including the collective unconscious and synchronicity, lack empirical support and are difficult to test scientifically. Critics argue that this makes his ideas more philosophical or spiritual than scientific. While Jung's work has influenced various disciplines, the scientific community remains divided on the validity of his concepts. Some scholars continue to explore his ideas, while others question their relevance in modern psychology. Carl Jung's contributions to psychology are both profound and controversial. His theories have provided valuable insights into the human psyche, yet they also raise questions about the boundaries between science and spirituality. As we continue to explore the depths of the unconscious mind, Jung's work serves as a reminder of the complexities and challenges inherent in understanding human nature. Jung's concept of the collective unconscious posits that beneath our personal experiences lies a shared layer of the unconscious mind, containing universal archetypes and symbols inherited from our ancestors. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, and the anima, animus, are said to manifest in dreams, myths, and cultural narratives.